Comeback story. Real comeback story. Come back, come back, come back. Real comeback story. Real comeback story. Real comeback story.
We are Radio Cayman, covering Cayman Right, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
Sports
One
Extra.
in Cambodia.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed. Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Ready. Good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin. Hope everyone is all well. We have a packed studio with us tonight. We have basketball, our young basketball players, and we also have rugby. So tonight we'll be chatting with the Breakfast Club basketball stars, right? So Laurie Brown, Bethany Ebanks, and Jaheel Henry. Good evening. It's good to have you guys on board. I'm looking forward to hearing about your stories. Your high school, which one? Anyone in college yet? You're in college. Both of you in college? Okay, so hear about the high school and college experiences, right? Okay, so I know, Laurie, you're a freshman at DME.
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore now? Okay. And Laurie was also selected for the Basketball Without Borders Elite Training Camp this year, which is huge because this program is a partnership between FIBA and the NBA, and only the top 30 boys and girls from each region are selected to attend. So that is huge, right? So Beth, this is your first year at Johnson and Wales.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And Jaheel, you're one of the first to get a full scholarship to study and play basketball at Trinity Baptist University for the Breakfast Club basketball program. So that is huge, all right? So we're looking forward to, you guys sharing your experiences in a minute. However, I'm not done yet. You can't do that to me. However, we will transition to Cayman Rugby with the men's captain, Mike Luxton, will be in studio. As Cayman men, as you may have heard, they're preparing to take on Bermuda on home soil on June 13th at the Truman Bodden Stadium for the Big Game 11. So that's going to be huge right here in Cayman on home soil. Of course, Luxton's leadership and resilience have, of course, been invaluable to the Cayman Islands rugby squad, even with him being sidelined with an injury this time. So it's very unfortunate, but we're going to hear all about it when we return right after this.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. During the last Lionistic year, they successfully carried out community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, sight screenings, spelling bees, swim meets, and their community food pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service during the 2024-2025 Lionistic year and for many more years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on-demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8320.
To you by Cayman Airways. Call them at 949-2311 to book your non-stop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
Superior Auto Center. Do it right the first time with Superior Auto.
949-9570 or 525-9571. Superior Auto. They keep your car in tune.
And Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola.
An Ocean Deep Mobile Massage. Your go-to for high-quality massage and spa services. WhatsApp 924-4159 or email oceandeepmassage21@gmail.com.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. And if you're just tuning in, we are here with Bethany Ebanks. We have Lori Brown and Jaheel Henry from the Breakfast Club, right? Our Cayman Basketball Breakfast Club program, which is a huge program with over 46 athletes that play basketball very early in the morning. A little too early for me, but it's like it's like what, 5 o'clock, 5:30?
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
I remember those days. Oh my goodness. Are you guys still doing that in school now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that at times. I don't miss it at all. Oh, to be young again. Getting up early and working your butts off on the court and sometimes off the court as well, right?
Yeah.
In the gym and whatnot. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting stuff. But this is good. This is good. I'm glad you guys are back here now in Cayman just for a short time. I know you're leaving shortly. You know what? Let's get to you, Lori, first. What does it mean to you to be selected for the Basketball Without Borders Elite program?
It means a lot. Like, I feel like that shows how hard I've worked and how much I've improved. So it feels really amazing to be one of the people selected out of thousands of kids to go to this elite training camp.
That's huge, guys. That's huge.
That's really huge.
That's really huge. How did your time at DME help prepare you think, for this opportunity?
I think it was just a transition to a higher level of basketball and just playing with these high-level girls every day during practice. It really helped me get more physical and just develop my skills more.
Awesome. What are you most excited about getting into this elite program?
I'm most excited about the trainings. Like, I want to see how competitive they are. And the girls, I'm excited to play against them, definitely. So I'm just excited to see and to travel as well.
Yeah. Where is it going to be?
It's going to be in El Salvador.
In El Salvador.
Wow.
Oh, exciting. And what position do you play?
I play wing /
So forward/center?
Yeah.
Okay, forward/. And what about you, Beth? What position do you play?
I play just small forward. That's like my position. I can play between a combo guard as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And then how did the Cayman Breakfast Club program, you say, you think, help prepare you for college basketball?
Breakfast Club helped me a lot. Like getting up in the morning, just being very disciplined on the court and off the court for my education as well. That's like the biggest thing. Playing with the boys also helped me be physical with the girls up there because they're also physical and stronger.
Right.
So yeah, that really helped me a lot.
What would you say was your biggest challenge transitioning to Johnson & Wales, both, I guess, on and off the court? We spoke off the air where you were saying you transition pretty easily.
Yeah.
But what would you say was your most challenging?
I will say the homesickness, like very big culture shock up there. Like the
Where is
food.
Johnson? Where exactly is Johnson & Wales?
Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island.
Yes,
oh wow, yeah.
The-
Tell me about the food.
They have a Caribbean spot there called Flames.
Okay.
I go there.
That's where you go every day.
Yeah, they have some good oxtail. No better than Cayman though.
Okay.
But yeah, that was and the weather as well. Like,
okay, it's cold.
I could just watch outside. It's like, oh, it's sunny out, and I walk out. It's like freezing cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what about on the court?
On the court, I would say like I'm not used to fast-paced basketball. That's why I had to get used to there. They're really big on their plays as well. The girls there are so amazing. They help me adapt really well. I really do love them and my coaches from there.
What's
as
it
well.
like with all the plays? How many plays does your team have?
They have a whole book.
Yeah.
Like a whole book.
I remember we had like 100 plays. I mean, you only use one all season. And we had to learn every practice. We had to learn all 100 of them. And I remember one time I was like, Coach, why are we learning all this and we still playing only one play? But we just had to know it just in case the defense switched or the offense switched up on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds good. I'm glad to hear that. And Jahil, what about you? How did your time at what do we say? You were a DME? No, you were somewhere different.
212 Academy.
Okay, how was that? How was your time at guess the breakfast session? Helped you at where you are at.
Well, it prepared me for like the intensity of like the practices and the workouts. So like when I went up there, I wasn't like just blown away because it was like things that I've done before. It's drills that I've done before with Coach Corey or even Coach Voot. So I was kind of prepared for the most part.
And what did receiving a full scholarship from Trinity mean to you?
I was really blown away just to know that like my mom didn't have to pay anything out of pocket.
Of course.
So just to see the look on her face when I
People don't realize that's a struggle, college. It's so expensive. So when you get a full ride, you better take advantage of that. Yeah, you have no other choice. Because they're gonna be watching you anyway. Because what's that like for you now with school, with the process with your classes and stuff like that?
Well, school is always gonna be school. School is always gonna be school. But the professors were very helpful. Okay. Especially like being an athlete. Being an athlete has its perks. Yeah. So they were very helpful. Like when we had practices that were scheduled like during our class time, or when we had games that we had to leave early for class, like they were very helpful in helping me catch up, giving me some extra time to catch up on my work and whatnot. So
awesome. Did you get a chance to play high school ball abroad?
Yes, I did. At 212 Academy.
Okay, and what's been the biggest difference between high school ball for you and playing at college?
I'd probably say just like bigger bodies. They're taller, faster.
College, yeah.
College is definitely faster. The players are stronger. The practices are harder. So a lot
more
of
weights.
Yeah. And then the plays has to be like crisp. There's limited space for error.
Right.
More limited than high school. High school, you could, play for fun.
Yeah. I get it. It's a little transition, and you could slack off just a little bit. Just a little bit. But when you get to high school, when you get to college, it's different. It's very different. It's more serious. This is it.
Yeah, you got to be more consistent. Consistency is
yeah, most definitely. What adjustments have you had to make both mentally and physically at the collegiate level, you think?
What adjustments? Time management.
Okay.
Because, the classes are harder.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot more reading as well. So, just managing my time got a little bit more difficult than it used to be. And like just being placed in that new environment, didn't know what to expect. So kind of had to branch out a little bit, come out of my comfort zone. And then just handling the distractions, because college comes with different distractions than high school does. Yes. Plus you have more freedom. So
and the girls, stay away.
Right. And then so just being able to keep your eyes focused on the prize, because there are a lot of distractions. Yes. But just being able to just finding your little clique, that's all. You guys are all motivating each other.
What were your distractions, or what are? Apart from the girls.
I wouldn't really say what, the Friday nights and the Saturday nights.
Yeah.
You know, it's
downtime.
Yeah.
But you have to be so careful.
Yeah.
Especially
like,
as an athlete.
Especially when we don't have practice tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Bet. So you know, it's a Friday night. Just gotta deal with that temptation.
With that full scholarship, your coach watching your every move.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
I know.
Most definitely.
So, Laurie, what about you? What's the toughest competition you faced at DME? And you said off air that you're playing for 2 teams. Explain that to us.
Okay, so my coach, he made the decision to make me play 2 teams because he wanted me to get more reps. Because he knows that I came from a small island where there's not a lot of people play basketball.
Right.
So he wanted me to play as much as I can to develop me this year, to prepare me for the oncoming years that I had.
Okay, so you're playing for the 2 teams. Let us know what those 2 teams are.
The 2 teams are post-grad national and then high school national.
All right. Which one do you prefer? Is there a preference between the 2, or you're good with both?
I'm pretty good with both. Yeah.
Which one has tougher competition?
Definitely the high school national, because we play against like the top high school players, ranked players. We play against Montverde, IMG this year, so we're going against high level players.
Awesome. What do you hope to gain from Basketball Without Borders?
I hope to gain recognition. I want to be more known and represent Cayman on a higher level.
Okay, awesome. And what about you, Beth? What's been the most defining moment in your college basketball journey, you think?
I think, let me see how I explain this. I think the same thing, like what Jahil said, like, since Johnson and Wales doesn't have school on Fridays, so we have like a 3-day weekend. We can do whatever like we want, you know, but it's something that I had to keep to myself, you know, like managing my time was such a big thing up there, especially like meeting new friends, like joining other clubs and seeing what else Johnson and Wales have to offer except for basketball in school. So that's what defined.
Okay.
You know?
And I can't tell him watch out for the girls and not tell you guys watch out for the boys.
Thank
you. He was waiting for it. He was waiting for it. Yeah. But Beth, you've been a fantastic basketball player here locally, and you mentioned something that playing abroad is a more fast-paced.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Fast-paced.
How would you say your game has evolved since joining college basketball?
I would say my defense.
Yeah.
Like I had to learn how to play defense.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I had to like learn how to play like team defense. If I didn't, like we would have to run, and I was such like I didn't want to run, so I had to learn how to adapt to that, and like learn where my guards were, where my center was. Yeah. So I had to learn where everyone was on the court and not just worry about myself and who the people that I like on the court.
Awesome. What about you, Laurie? How has your game evolved since?
I think definitely I liked what Beth said, the defense.
Yeah.
You have to, and also the plays as well, because you have to know the full court press.
Yes.
You have to know how to break the press. You have to know, and just, you have to react to what your coach reacts to. So that's definitely an adjustment that I had to learn.
And you, Jahil?
How
has your game evolved since playing?
Making quick decisions on the fly.
Okay.
It took me a while to break out of, okay, just because there's a play doesn't mean that, you know, if you see a better play, like make the play, don't be a robot.
Yeah.
So, just making quick decisions on the fly.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. What about, this is very fun. How do you all, and I know this was a struggle for me when I was in college, how do you balance the demands of academics and athletics effectively? How do you all balance both books and ball? Any one of you can answer.
I would just say just get it done right away. So
and I'm a procrastinator. So that went out the door.
I just, the minute I got the homework, I just went and go do it.
Right.
So like it's not where, okay, well I have it due until next week.
Yeah.
I have like away game, so if I have a away game, I'll just do it on the bus there and just send it in. Just do it right away. Don't make the work pile up on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I kept it going.
Have you always been that way? Or
yes, Mom, I have.
Always been. See, that's easy for her to do that. What about you guys? That's very good, Beth.
It's definitely harder for me. I am a procrastinator myself, but I think DME, it really helps to cater to athletes, so we don't get much homework. We get more like in-class work.
Okay.
So
well, that's good.
That is really good.
And our classes are short. We don't have a lot of school in class school. Like we only have class for about 3 hours a day. So it's for a high school, that's really good.
Yeah.
I love it. So I love our schedule. They really tailor to.
That's right.
That's nice.
She's in high school, so there's a big difference, in how they cater to your needs. Definitely, because when you hit college, they don't cater to your needs.
They don't. They really
just don't. All right. What about you, Jahil? Academics and ball.
Well, I normally do my homework at night.
Okay.
Like I don't know what it is, but I can't. So like after practice, it's like just a designated time. So practice, dinner, like practice, shower, dinner, and then I just sit in my chair and then just mentally prepare. Like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do my homework. And then it also like keeps me in at night because it's like, all right, you guys can go out, but I know that I have to do homework because
it's a change of culture as well for you there.
Indeed. I agree. Yeah, it's definitely takes some getting used to.
And then it's different for us as we're international players as well. You've noticed, like, you might find, you might have to take it a little more seriously because you don't have you may not get the opportunity another athlete who can just drop out of school and try another school and get in. Right. So you have to take it a lot more seriously than most do. Yeah. So what's one lesson from your coaches at Johnson & Wales, Bethany, that's made a significant impact on you? She probably hasn't heard someone call her Bethany in a while. Beth, what's one lesson from your coaches at Johnson & Wales that's made a significant impact on you?
I would say my coach Dino. He's a very like strong man. So when he tells me like don't play around, like that just made an impact on me. Like don't slack around, like you run, like do this, do that. Like him just putting that discipline on me made such a big impact in education overall, and me coming here and keep working on my game. Like, you know what I mean?
And the same for Coach Corey. What sort of impact has he had on you?
Coach Corey is such a nice man. I genuinely love that man.
He treats his girls different than he treats his
boys. Sweetheart to everyone.
What's that, Laurie?
Loves everyone.
He loves everyone? Oh, no, he does, but he treats the girls.
He treats the girls. Just a little bit, though. Just a little bit.
What's your experience?
With Coach Corey?
Yes.
Tough love.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tough love. He's the type of coach to like just tell you what you don't want to hear, but you need to hear.
Right.
Just always keeping it real. Coach Corey, like if there was one thing that he used to always preach to me about was the distractions. So he always told me to always keep your head down and just focus on, like, don't focus on what's going on around you. Because your boy, your friend, your BFF, they might have different goals than you might have. And then you want to follow them, but then that's going to take you off your path.
Right.
So that was one thing that always stood with me. So then just look at my friends and just choose your friends wisely, I guess.
Yeah. What about you, Laurie? Your experience with Coach Corey?
I always remember every day at training, do you want to be good or do you want to be great?
Right.
He always
Such
says
a
that.
Signature move.
Yeah, definitely. So I think about that very often at training, and I push myself even harder than others would. That really sticks with me.
Awesome.
When I was always complaining about waking up so early.
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, you want to sleep? You could go back and sleep, but just know that someone else is up there working.
Yeah.
So he knows how to push your buttons.
Yeah, he does.
Sounds like you read a lot of Kobe Bryant books. I'm just saying.
Look a little bit like.
How does the level of competition compare to what you've experienced here at home? The level of competition where you are in high school and the both of you are in college, compared to the competition you have here.
I would say the competition is a lot bigger, taller. IQ is really good. Playing college basketball made me realize that there's so much other people out there that are starving and hungry for this game.
Yeah.
You know, and playing against girls that are like that knows the game better than you have to like adapt to that. And there's so much like faster playing in that sport, you know.
Okay. And what about you, Jahil? What's the level of competition compared to Cayman?
Bigger,
Same
like
thing?
Beth said, and faster. I would say a lot more structured as well. It's not, I mean, yeah, we have times where we have like fast breaks and whatnot, but in a half court setting, there's a lot of half court like possessions that you just gotta learn how to play in a half court setting.
A lot of plays as well.
Yeah.
Same for you, Laurie?
Yes, very similar to what they said. It's a lot, very, very like structured, and the IQ of some girls have is just out of this world. It's crazy.
Bro, exactly.
They're like, their stats are stats. Like, actually, it's insane.
But yours are stacked now too.
Yeah, because it actually rubs off. When you compare yourself to when you just went to school and to yourself now, like you actually see the improvement.
Okay, awesome. And what about Chantel? Chantel's with you as well?
Yes.
Is she playing for the two schools as well? The two
no,
teams?
she plays for the regional team, the high school regional.
The high school regional team. How is she doing?
She's doing great.
Is she still injured or she's okay now?
No, she's okay now.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
all
and we're actually roommates.
You're roommates?
Big
okay. I mean, we knew that would happen.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's nice. And how would you say, I mean, she's coming back next week. That's why she's not here. She would have been here today. But how would you say she has adapted?
She has adapted pretty well. At first, like, she was out for a while.
Because of the injury?
Yeah. So preseason, she was just, like, on the sidelines watching training. But after preseason, she was back in. And I think that helped her a lot as well, because it made her see the trains from the side and prepare herself instead of just jumping straight into it.
Yeah.
So that helped her a lot.
Right. Okay, awesome. What advice would you all give other Caymanian athletes hoping to play at the collegiate level? And this is for you too, I'm guessing. Yeah, not you yet, Laurie.
Okay.
I would say don't give up on your dreams. Keep pushing. Like, them ups and downs are gonna, like, God have a plan for you. Just keep pushing for where you want to be. Like, don't stop playing ball, you know? That's what I would give a younger athlete.
Okay. Jahil?
To trust the process. To always have a plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So have a plan. Give it to God. Do your best. Work as hard as you can. And then let him do the rest.
Yeah.
And just trust the process.
Awesome. And Laurie, how do you plan to translate this experience that you're going to have at Basketball Without Borders into, let's say, your future basketball career?
I think it's definitely a stepping stone.
Yeah.
The higher the levels that I'm going into, I think the better my game will get. So I think this camp will really help me just see what other competition is outside of America, because there are some good players that are in America. So I think it's just going to be interesting to play against more international players.
Especially where you're going in those Spanish countries.
Yeah.
Ooh, those girls can ball.
Nice
Do you follow like the 3x3 FIBA on Instagram?
Yeah.
I'm just to say, if you don't, you should. That's some serious basketball.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you guys play 3x3 someday, very soon. Because you're what age?
I'm 18.
I'm 16.
21.
Okay, you pretty soon. And you're of age now, and you probably have 1 or 2 more years. But that's going to be good. Look up that 3x3, FIBA 3x3 basketball. It's amazing, the talent. Young kids just like you out there taking basketball to a whole other level.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, so what's your ultimate dream?
And you mean like my ultimate dream, like above basketball, or like in the same?
Anyone, share whichever one.
I would suggest, like, if basketball doesn't work, I would love to come back home and like help my country a lot, like my island. But if basketball do work, I want to play like some pro basketball, like overseas, like somewhere in England or like Spain and stuff like that.
I noticed you didn't say WNBA. That's possible.
I mean, WNBA is a dream, but like it's something where I was like, nah, I just don't want to follow that path. I want to go somewhere different.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, so
all right. Laurie?
I think similar to Beth, I would like to play overseas. And if basketball doesn't work out, I want to be a businesswoman.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. What are you studying? You don't know what you're studying yet. You're still in high school. What did two of you study?
I'm studying business.
Business?
Hospitality management.
Hospitality management.
Yes,
awesome. That's pretty good. I think that's great. Who would you say has the biggest influence in shaping all of your basketball careers?
The biggest influence in shaping my basketball career?
Any one of you can answer. It could be somebody locally. It could be somebody internationally as well.
Yeah.
I would say just. Do I have to say one person, or I can say like?
No.
I would say the basketball community.
Yeah.
Like Cayman basketball community, like Coach Vu, Coach Corey, Coach Colin, Coach Wendy. All of them have shaped me. Coach Red have shaped me into becoming someone to play at this level.
Awesome.
Even you too.
In my old day.
I remember playing against you. It was so much fun.
The last year when you played against me, I think that was like, was that 20?
I think 2023.
2020, just before you went off to school.
Yes.
Yeah. And my dad looked at me, he's like, your mind is making appointments your body can't keep. There's always a saying of his, right? Because we've gotten a lot older now, and you're trying to make the move that you used to make 5 years ago, but you can't make the move anymore. So that was a huge experience for me as a former national player, and being a dominant player as well, a national captain that carried my team internationally, coming back and playing after being away from the game for about 3 or 4 years, coming back to play. And it was very stressful for me. I was because I saw myself, in my mind, I saw the Dionne 5 years ago, but my body just wasn't doing those things anymore.
Right.
So it was very difficult. Take advantage of your youth. Play hard, go out there. I know you guys are going to make it big. I know you guys are going to do big things for Cayman, whether it's 5-on-5 or 3x3. Yeah? All right, so you still didn't tell me who your biggest influence is. I'm not getting over that one.
My biggest influence, I think, were my coaches, one, yes, but also watching basketball. My favorite players, especially Anisha Moore, I think. She came down, she played for LSU.
Yes.
And she came down actually for the Cayman Classic. And I think just seeing that other girls my height, that was a big thing. That was definitely a big factor. My height.
Your height. Okay.
Yeah, because there isn't much tall girls in Cayman.
Right. No, it isn't.
No.
Yeah.
So I think seeing her and what she's done, like, it was really amazing.
That in itself has been a huge adjustment for you as well, being a center and being probably the tallest girl, and you're not that tall. Yeah. When you play high school ball and then college, you realize, wait, I'm not that tall.
Yeah.
Because there are girls all 6'4", 6'5", right?
Yeah, even at high school.
What's the tallest girl you faced?
I've 6'5".
6'5"?
Yeah.
Okay. See? Yeah. Exactly, and you're like what, 6'1"? 6'1"?
And she's my age.
Yeah.
What?
That's insane.
That's insane.
All right. What about you before we go, Jahil? Any of your biggest influences?
Coach Voot and Coach Corey. I mean, they were always there from the very start. I remember the first time I went to Kings, Coach Voot held up a molten basketball, and he had everyone on the ground, and he was like, this ball can take you anywhere you want in the world. He was like, this ball can pay for your school. And I was like, what? I heard that. I was like, what? So my mom don't have to pay a dime? And then Coach Corey came along, and then he backed me with that goal. He was always there for me. So yeah. Other than that though, Damian Lillard.
You like Damian Lillard?
Definitely my favorite player, just because he's a great guy, off the court. Yeah. And he's also a phenomenal player. So, yeah.
It's nice to hear a different name other than Kobe or LeBron. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. All the best throughout your journey. I'm sure I will have you all back on the show. I want to definitely have you on to talk about Basketball Without Borders when you return. Are you going straight to college after El Salvador, or are you coming back to Cayman? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm coming back to Cayman after the camp.
All right, so we're going to hear all about it. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Chantel is here by then as well.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all so much.
Thank
Let's
you.
take a short
Thank you
break.
very
We'll be
much.
right back.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned.
Whether your group works in an office, a hotel, a hospital, or even on the beach, no matter where your group works or what it does, BAF has a health insurance plan for you. You can always count on BAF for affordable, flexible group and individual health insurance plans with professional, friendly customer service. Call them at 949-5089. BAF, your health is their priority.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cable.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it. Radio Cayman.
Biggest variety in the morning. Biggest variety.
RC Fusion.
Following the 10 a.m. news headline.
Brought to you by TCE Paint Shop, 27 Godfrey Nixon Way.
RC Fusion.
The Georgetown Farmers Market. It's time you start eating local. The market at the Cricket Grounds.
My Kinda Cleaners. Call or WhatsApp 326-3379 for your free quote today. Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transportation, and Development. Also brought to you by Rosanna Dixon Insurance. Protect your family with critical illness coverage. Call Rosanna Dixon at 547-0952.
Biggest variety in the morning.
Radio Cayman.
Alrighty. Welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra, and we have men's rugby captain Mike Luxton in the studio with us. Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to Sports Extra and Radio Cayman.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your first time here?
Second time. I think I came after we beat Mexico at home, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it was a lot of you inside here.
Former captain Connell Keane and some others.
Yes, I remember now.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so you guys are preparing for a big game 11 against Bermuda.
Yes.
This is awesome. This is on June 13th at the Truman Bodden Sports Complex.
Correct.
How has practice been coming along so far?
It's been going really well. I think it's always a difficult one. I think the journey for this team probably started just before Christmas when we played Mexico away. So it was kind of the sort of regathering. I think there was a few players that retired just before that. There was some really good youngsters that came of age and were kind of introduced to the team. And then so we had a sort of a good experience up there. And then came through to play in Guyana back in April, which was a good trip. And then sort of looking ahead now to Bermuda, like I said to you on the break, we do have some history with them, both on the 15 side and also in sevens just before Christmas. So it's a team and an outfit we know really well, and they'll bring a very strong team. And it's going to be a good event. I think this is the first time that it will be sort of a double header with the women's rugby before us, and then the test match afterwards. So really looking forward to it.
Are the women playing Bermuda as well?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And their game will be first, and then you all?
I think it's the women are playing first in a 10s match, and then we'll be playing afterwards. Yeah.
And you will have 15s?
15s, correct.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. So, Mike, after being out for 7 months, how have you? How would you say you've continued to influence the team from the sidelines? I know that must be difficult for you.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's one of those where it's kind of trying to sort of settle it down a little bit. I think that, to start with, it was very, very hard, I think, to kind of realise that, the next 6-7 months are going to be out. But thankfully to the coaches, to James, to Barney, to kind of keep me involved, I think... So I think I'm going to just try and bring the perspective as a player in terms of trying to really kind of make sure that, the focus is the sort of the controllables, we call them, right? In terms of, the work ethic and the communication and just kind of reiterate to the guys that, this is something to take seriously. We can't be kind of complacent and just going to try and add the value where I can from that perspective, really. What
has been, I guess, the most rewarding role of transitioning from captain to more of a mentoring role?
It's very difficult. I mean, I didn't know what to expect to start with. I think the rewarding... I've only been doing it for probably, say, sort of a month or two now at this point, actively. I think the guys, we took a sort of a select team up to Dallas over the weekend. And from kind of the short time I've been involved, we're truly trying to sort of nail down some of the set piece. So technically speaking, the line out and some other areas that we can play with freedom and creativity. So trying to sort of make sure that again those sort of get up off the floor where you can in the work ethic and technically that the line out is efficient. Which there were some of those areas that went very, very well on the weekend. So seeing things that you're trying to put into practice come off, I think is probably the most gratifying thing.
You having trouble putting on your headset there, or you?
Yeah, struggling with the left hand ear. So
you can take. You don't have to wear it, or you can just flip it. Yeah. Do you mind sharing with us what your injury is?
Yeah, absolutely. So I, whilst making a rugby tackle, ripped my pec and tore my pec away from the humerus. So on the 1st of April, I had surgery to reattach it. So it was a complete rupture of the tendons that map your pec to your humerus.
That sounds painful. You see my face?
Yeah. I have to say, probably important for me to give a shout out to Doctors Hospital. They are actually a sponsor of the rugby club.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Happy
Perfect.
days. My surgeon, Dr. Pecco, was actually at the field when it happened. And
Dr. Pecco?
Dr. Pecco, yeah.
Healing the pec.
Yeah,
I like
couldn't write it, could you?
I like it.
Yeah, so they were absolutely amazing from the point that I did my injury through to actually having the surgery was just over 2 weeks, and that's inclusive of imaging, MRI, and kind of going through the whole process. But yeah, it's kind of my first surgery, so it was kind of everything from kind of going under and going through the process and trying to figure out how long it's going to be and coming to terms with it was quite difficult. So yeah, slowly but surely trying to get back awesome. Before the end of the year.
Okay, so you're trying to get back before the end of the year.
Yeah, so I think the next, focusing on sort of the coaching for Friday the 13th first.
Okay.
But then for me personally is looking ahead to the Sevens in November.
Okay.
So that'll be the Rugby America's North Sevens tournament.
Hopefully you're ready for that.
Yeah.
You'd probably go nuts if you're not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, you guys, there are 16 new players on the squad. How has the team chemistry evolved over the last year, you think?
Really good, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that I have to sort of give them flowers. James and Barney, the coaching staff, have really tried to foster a really sort of good, positive culture.
He's such a nice guy,
really
Coach
nice.
Barney. I know Coach James.
Yeah.
And Coach Barney is the one, but Coach Barney is the one that I talk to on a regular basis. He's such a nice man.
He's all about
He's just
energy.
so hype and full of love and character. And I'm like, yeah, you're a great coach, man.
Well, also, I think the nature of it is that a lot of us have full-time work, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we're training in the evenings and, you know how his work's going to go, how long you've been in, what kind of day you've had. So kind of coming along to training, trying to energize the group and kind of make sure we're in the right mindset. Barney's the perfect guy to there, right? He's always on a high. I don't think I've ever seen him with an unhappy face.
Neither even when you lose. Even when you guys lose.
That's the one time that I've seen him upset.
Well, I haven't seen that side. He always brings the most positive side to me. He's just a wonderful guy.
Yeah. So it stems from him, and then I think that we've got a good leadership group. I think that not kind of just sort of me beforehand playing as captain, but a lot of leaders throughout the group that have got a few caps and experience that can make sure that we kind of reiterate that, and even off the training ground and in group chats, and when you're seeing friends out, it's just kind of reinforcing the message and trying to make sure that it's a positive team to be in.
Definitely. What are some of the biggest lessons that you've shared with the younger players?
I mean, mistakes are going to happen in rugby. So I think certainly in a rugby sense, I think that there can be apprehension. There's a lot of lads that have played a very good level of rugby. So it's trying to sort of pass that message on that mistakes are going to happen. Put yourself in the best position as you can for a game. That doesn't mean, it just means that you kind of look after yourself physically, you recover well, and put yourself in the best position to have a good game, because rugby, if you don't take it seriously, can be pretty painful. So evidence here.
Definitely. Richard Hooper and David Stringer, they have stepped up as leaders. How would you describe their leadership style?
Awesome. I mean, both of them lead by example. And I think that, even like I say, last year I was fortunate enough to be named captain. You could have named either of those guys, and also a number of others. I mean, the leading by example, I think, is the main one. On behalf of Richard, the line out is a very, very important part of our game. So to have him become eligible, I think, last year, and then to kind of come into the team and really offer where he's been and kind of that message, I think, just his presence, I think, for some of the younger guys coming through that are trying to kind of learn certain aspects, whether they're going to be playing on Friday in June or not, or they're just trying to kind of learn the trade and come through, I think having someone like him and also Stringer it's been amazing. So like I say, we got a very strong and robust leadership group.
Okay, so we're going to move on now to more of Cayman's performance and of course rugby growth. So I know you guys led Mexico for 60 minutes and had a dominant win over Guyana. What does that say about the growth of the program, you think?
I think I think it speaks volumes. I mean, I think that I was chatting to the coaches just before we came. I came here tonight, and I think we've got something like 48 or 49 players up for selection for this game in June, which for a small island for Cayman, I think is amazing. And I think when you think of the likes of, Mexico, we beat them here, fortunate enough, like I say, 2 years ago in 2022, and we're leading at halftime. We're leading for 60 minutes away, and we took a very, very young team. A couple of guys that only found out, 10 days, 2 weeks before, which is the nature of, like I said, kind of the environment that we play in. So I think that we're punching above our weight, but I think that it is because of the hard work that goes on behind the scenes. And I think that, again, stemming from the coaches and some of the leaders to communicate with some of the younger guys that are at university and playing a very good level overseas in the UK that are adding a lot of value. The likes of so I think that there's, from what I know at the moment, I think there's around about five or six that are certainly going to be coming across. And they will not be coming across just because we're trying to bring younger players through, because they will add a lot of value. And that's testament to them,
definitely.
So really looking forward to them.
Beneficial to any national team, bringing home the players that are playing abroad.
For sure.
And that experience is, we can't get anything better.
Yeah, and we when we played Mexico before Christmas, we had, I think there was probably more, there's 7, 8, 9 of them potentially.
I think I remember that too,
Yeah, and they're in a range of positions, some of them very technical, fly halves and props and people that need to know certain set piece phase plays, and they've picked it up so quickly and made the effort to kind of learn that, and that was kind of the reasons why we were able to put in a positive performance going up there. Because I don't think a lot of the people beforehand would given us much of a chance, let alone say that we were going to win after we would be leading after 60 minutes. But so that's testament to them and the younger guys for sure.
Awesome, I like that. Sounds good. How has the team prepared tactically for Bermuda, despite such a major roster shift?
I think it's about learning what we've done right, what we've done wrong. We know a lot about Bermuda from playing them last year.
Right. But they may have a few changes as well.
Yes, and I think they will do. And I think we're probably fortunate enough to have kind of a man on the inside in Jamie that we used to work there for a number of years. Whether that, like I say, sort of pays dividends now or not has any bearing, it's not sure. But we're going to understand that, they've got some stronger players to come through. That, they rotated a few players when we played them last time. So it's kind of acknowledging that, they are going to come down, they're going to be stronger, and bigger, faster, stronger, they are going to be more skilled when they come down to us in June. So for us, it's about understanding the aspects that we've done well from Mexico, from Bermuda last year, from Guyana, from the Dallas game. Really kind of working on that to make that a strength of ours, and then any of the weaknesses, action that in training. And yeah, like I say, kind of putting that into practice.
Since you've been playing with the national team, how many times have you all beaten Bermuda?
I personally have only played them once, and that was when we played them away last year. I don't know, it was difficult to kind of get a fixture against them for a while, and I was eligible to play as of 2020.
Okay.
That was deep in the COVID period, so my first cap was against Mexico at the end of 2021, and then I've played Mexico 3 times and Bermuda once since. And then some other sort of invitational games in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's happening this Friday?
This coming Friday?
Yeah. You had mentioned something about Friday.
Sorry, the in June. Friday.
In June, the 13th.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 13th.
Friday the 13th. Oh.
I say Friday Night Lights, because I think in rugby that's the dream, right? That's what everyone wants to play.
Okay,
so.
awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the key to maintaining consistency? Of course, despite the many new faces that you guys have now.
I think it's communication.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think that it starts from the top. It sort of cascades down to the leadership group, and then it's about reinforcing that message in terms of what we're looking to achieve. And for me, that starts with the controllables, which is effort, which is work ethic, which is, on the pitch is getting up off the floor and kind of working hard for the guy next to you, and off the field, that's eating right, sleeping well. So I think it's about, reinforcing that. Whoever comes into the team needs to understand that's kind of the principles and values that we're going by. And like I say, it starts with the energizer buzzy that is Barney and James as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Looking ahead, what do you think, this young squad's potential is for the next few years?
I wouldn't say that we've got a particular ceiling in front of us. I think that, for us, the biggest competitor in the region, as it stands, is Mexico.
Okay.
Outside of that, I think it's about more so kind of building the talent pool that we have locally, and building our level in terms of domestic leagues and the standard rugby that's played here, increase the level of competition. And I think that's only going to bode well into the national team. And I think from a national perspective, I think that, the more work that we can put in, fixtures that we can kind of get right, I think is a bit of a snowball effect. I know for me, personally, when I was younger, when I was growing up, a successful first team and trying to sort of see those guys playing was very inspiring, and trying to kind of get to that level. Right. So if we can kind of, put the work in from our side, hopefully that should snowball down into participation. Yeah, and honestly, I do think that's probably had some sort of effect over the last couple of years. Yeah. So I think, that's probably the...
And they're very enthusiastic. In interviewing them alone, they were very excited, very enthusiastic, very bright and talented.
Yeah.
Young players.
For sure.
Pretty good. Okay, so we're going to move on now to personal experience and, of course, rugby future.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about your injury. We spoke about it a little.
Yeah.
But how has your injury changed your perspective on the game and your role within the team?
Tackle lower, I think, probably, but no, I think with regards to, I think my perspective is still very much the same.
Okay.
In that injuries, they're a part of the game, love it or hate it. I mean, it's a physical game.
Yes.
And I think that, the game is won on margins and 1%. So I think that whether it's a positive tackle, or, it's going to happen. So I think that my perspective in that sense is still very much the same. I think that, we can still put ourselves in the best position to make an effective tackle, a textbook tackle, get your technique right, in order to kind of mitigate that as much as possible. But yeah, like I say, I mean, my perspective is very much sort of similar in that sense. So I'm just going to try and get myself right and kind of go back into it with the kind of that mindset.
Definitely. What's the recovery process been like?
I actually come along very, very well. I had my so April the 1st was my surgery, and I think it's somewhere about 8 weeks or so now since. Had a physio appointment today, and that was looking at my range of motion. So I mean, that from kind of the comments I got are weeks ahead of probably where I should be, which is a good thing. So it's just kind of about following the protocol, not trying to rush it back. Doing the rehab as much as I possibly can, strengthen it, taking it slow. My goal is to get back for the sevens towards the end of the year, personally, which is November, so that'll be about 7 months or so at that point. So that's a good amount of time. So the recovery's gone very well. Just trying to do the stretches and the activities where I can. Yeah. It's nice to be able to actually get to do something again, as opposed to sit there and go stir crazy for 2 months.
I'm sure. So you guys are playing home again.
Yes.
Which is so cool. It's always great to play home. Most people love to play home. I'm different. I don't like playing at home. I'd rather play away. Yeah, I really do. So what about you? What's your version of it?
Oh, playing at home. Yeah. And I'm fortunate to, I've played in some good environments before, but playing at home, certainly I've played a Friday night game home at Cayman, the prestige of it being a national game, you know, the rugby club, the union, you know, the government, all the different stakeholders and vendors that put up to kind of make it a good event, do an awesome job. And I remember, honestly, probably one of the best experiences I've had on the rugby pitch was when we were playing Mexico in 2022 at home, and we were having a very good performance. It was one of those days where everything was kind of going right to some extent. And any sort of positive impact you had or the team had on the game, you can hear the crowd singing and dancing. I was about to ask, do
you hear them? Because the field is so far away from the bleachers.
You know what? So much so that we're trying to call lineouts on the last game, and we're by the stand, and we're calling one of the calls, and the hooker can't hear it because the crowd is shouting and cheering. So it's only a good thing. But honestly, playing at home for me is here is everything. The environment's amazing. You know, the supporters and the fans that kind of come through to watch the game are amazing, and I'm absolutely gutted that I can't play in June.
Does it make a difference when you play? Does it make a difference when you play abroad? When you play, you know, away from home?
I think sometimes, I dare say that the motivation changes, but I think you go from an environment where you know everyone's got your back and shouting and screaming and everything's for you to you're in an environment where it's probably the opposite. Yes. So it's about placing more focus that we're here to do a job and we're here to upset and throw a spanner in the works for the other team. Sometimes, you know, that's kind of the thing that we can kind of draw off of. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's 4 white lines and you're there still to do the same job. So trying to kind of keep that concentration on both sides. It's not trying to play the game, not the occasion, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what's going to be your message to Cayman's rugby community that I guess is going to be coming out for this, you know, to support you guys during this historic double header?
Yeah, what I would say is if you've watched rugby before, if you haven't, I think it's going to be a great occasion on Friday night because, like I say, this is the first time we've got the women's playing before us, and I know Mercedes has done an amazing job with the women's setup.
Yeah, she really has.
She's done a really phenomenal job. The girls are going so well, and to get a fixture like that for them is awesome. So please rally around and kind of come down and support them. You know, we'll be on afterwards as well. The union do an amazing job, like I say, of getting the vendors down and kind of making a big song and dance of that and keeping the prestige for the big games. Yes. So I think that, you know, anyone that is got an interest from a playing perspective, if you're sat on the fence, I think come down and watch the games and kind of see what you think. Me personally, anyone out there that, you know, is interested can reach out to me at any point, any questions, and like I say, dare say the rest of the guys as well. Yeah. Because it will be an amazing spectacle for sure.
Definitely. What can you tell us about the ladies, since they're not here?
The ladies are...
what can we expect from them against Bermuda?
I wish some of them could play with us as well.
Yeah. Man, I've seen some of them.
Yeah,
I have. They're amazing.
And I tell you what, when we talk about the energy and kind of the environment, like I say, starting with Mercedes and the girls, it's such a good environment.
Just another great coach as well.
Yeah. I see on social media, I see around the rugby club, I see all the time that, you know, it looks like an amazing team to be a part of. And so for the girls, I think... I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head sort of when that was properly kicked into gear in terms of really placing some focus there and growing that part of the game. But
at least
come on leaps and bounds.
About 5 to 6 years now.
Yeah. And it's come on. I feel like it's come on leaps and bounds in terms of. I remember the first time. So we played a sevens tournament in the Bahamas, and that would have been the first one after COVID, I think, 2021 maybe, or 2022. And that was the first time, the first time in a while that the women's took over a sevens team as well and played the likes of, Mexico and Jamaica and some of the other stronger players.
And they played well too.
And they played really well, yeah.
really well.
And since then, like I say, the numbers I think are going up. It seems to be from kind of a social sort of dynamic and environment. It seems to be, a very enjoyable place to be. So, the girls are amazing. And they're very, very good players as well.
Have you all played any practice matches leading up to June 13th?
So the only practice,
the
only practice that we've kind of, I guess, sort of towards the start of the season we've looked at are really kind of identifying the Guyana game and put it in some practice, and then the Dallas game where. some guys will that are eligible will be able to will have played in that game, and some guys that haven't been able to travel. But probably Guyana and Dallas are the two that have kind of helped us.
Okay, all right, that's awesome. All right, tell the people of the Cayman Islands why they should come out.
Why they should come out on Friday? Because it's going to be an amazing, like I say, it's going to be an amazing spectacle. It'd be great to support the women. I think that, you know, whatever you're kind of involved in, you know, from a sporting perspective, I think that there's going to be a lot of like-minded people there. You know, be a good place with regards to live music and singing, dancing, and you can watch some good sport live, which I think is always a nice thing to do on a Friday night.
What time is the game for the women and the men?
Oh, you're testing me now. I'm not entirely sure.
Do you know yours?
I think the men maybe 7 o'clock.
Okay, so that means the women might be at 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we'll put it there. I'll check up with it further, I guess, and for the local sports report. But it's really good to have you.
Thank you
so much. And I'm really glad that you're here because, you know, and if you were not injured, you would not be here. Just like Coach. You're trying to get Coach for the longest time.
Yeah.
But he's like, Dionne, your show is when I'm having practice sessions. I can't come. But he's like, I've got somebody who you can have on your show.
Next time I'll try and have to take the practice if I can. We'll get Barney down here.
Yeah, I know. It'll have to be after the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you very much for having me on because I think it's I mean, the sport in Cayman's going in the right direction for sure.
It definitely is.
On the men's side and the women's side, I think there's a lot of juniors that are coming through. I think as a sport, I may be biased because I've played it most of my life. I think the social cues and everything that you can build by way of relationships is amazing. The sport does for younger people. So I think the participation's going up.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 12.
Really?
Yeah.
And you haven't played any other sport?
I play not to a good level. I play as much as I can recreationally.
What sport?
Play golf as well.
Golf? Okay.
Namely, not to a good level, but I have fun doing it. And then, other bits and pieces.
And you've lived here most of your life?
Well. I've lived here for just over 7 years now.
7 years now? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. I think that's cool. Where are you from?
I'm from Bristol in the United Kingdom.
Okay. Yeah. What's rugby like there?
Very good. Yeah, very good. I went to an institution for college and university that was played at quite a high level, so that was a good experience. And it's very competitive in England and Wales and the rest of it. So
so you brought some of that expertise from that end. To this end.
Yeah.
What was that transition like for you?
Very different. I mean, the environment I came from was training quite a lot, sort of 3+ times a week, and sort of scheduled gym sessions, strength and conditioning as well. So it was somewhat of a near on kind of a professional environment. So it's kind of different in that sense. But like I say, I mean, here the enjoyment factor is dare I say higher than it was there.
Do you have gym sessions as well here?
Yep.
Yeah. As a team?
Yeah. So we have a rugby gym up in West Bay. That we do have access to.
Just for rugby alone?
Yeah, so it's I think it's owned and operated by the rugby club.
Okay.
So I know that there's certain groups of individuals that will rally together and kind of have
Where in
a
West
session
Bay?
there. It is.
Oh, is it a secret?
No, do you know where the tennis and pickleball court is? I can't remember what it's called for the life of me.
Yeah, on West Bay Road.
Yeah, on West Bay.
In West Bay.
Yeah, in West Bay. And behind there is a sort of a row of I guess, garages. So there's two of those that have been converted with a turf at the front for power racks and row and ergs and bits and pieces of that for everyone to use. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate everything, especially to Coach. Tell him I said thank you.
I will do. Thank you very much.
No problem. That'll do it for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. Of course, if you would like to have the opportunity just to be a part of our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextrakman@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Good night and God bless.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.